So I made this portrait from the same canvas. So the coloring of the 3D shapes and also the background is all done from one canvas, and it's completely free. Even the removal of the image background was done here. So I'm going to demonstrate how I did this. So you'll need to navigate to gridoff.com. Then within the gridoff, you'll just click continue so that it takes you to the sign up page, which is completely free. But if you have an existing account, then it's going to direct you to your dashboard where you have a list of all the projects that you've worked on. So I'm going to create a new design, and I'm going to go with YouTube thumbnail. Then this is my canvas. So the first thing I will want to do is just add a rectangle to this and expand it all the way so that it covers the whole canvas like that. Then the next step is to play with the background color. So the basic shapes, which are actually just 2D shapes, are have a lot of properties. So we have the fill, which can also be background color. And the fill has four types of colors. We have the last three, which are the gradient colors, and the first one, which is a solid color. So if you click on the linear, you should be able to add as many colors as possible. Then you should also be able to remove the color that you don't like. And you should be able to edit your colors with a color picker like that. But we are not interested in the linear version of fill or a linear version of the background color. So I'm going to go with the organic. Maybe just show you what the radial looks like. So it looks like this. So I'll click on organic. And within the organic, you are able to do the settings. So setting is basically just mixing those colors or blending them with the organic shapes. So I'm going to have the green in the middle. So what I'm going to do is just to drag this above that, only that, and change it towards green. And that, then push it to the middle. So to push it to the middle, I have to activate the seed. Then I have to select it. Then it has the holding. So we only have one seed here. So one patch of green. If I click, it adds another patch of green like that. If I right click on the patch, it removes it. Then we have the black. So let's change this to black. That. Then just push this black towards the top. Then click on the purplish, that, and add seeds of purple. If I look at the template that I had created, it looks like this. So we have a bit of purple and a bit of black. So I'll just click on this black here and add it somewhere there. Then I'm going to shrink it by clicking on the purple and adding more seed. So just to push this black like that. Then I'll click the green again. And if I click on this space, it's going to create another seed for it. So I'm going to just move them together. And I'll click on the purple again and add another seed there. So let me just right click to remove the extra one and drag this. So you can play with this and see the shape that you're going to create in terms of coloring. Let me push this towards there again, and this towards there, and this towards the center. Like that, it is enough. It's just a demo. So if I click on the edit seeds again, then it's going to deactivate this. So the next step will be to add the image. I have an image here from Unsplash, which is a free image. And I'm just going to use for this demo. So I'm going to download a small version of the image. Then I'll go back to my project and upload an image using this button. And you see that the image is added. So the next thing I want to do is to remove the background color. So when you click on the image, its menu shows up on the right, just like the other shapes. So the image has a lot of properties. There is opacity. We can make it transparent if you want. We can do the rotation. Then apart from that, you can as well do the background removal. And then we have a specific kind of a fading, the gradient fading or gradient transparency. But for now, we are just focusing on the background removal. And if you look at this image, the colors are correctly, or the contrast is good. So removing the background will be faster. So just click on remove background. And it's going to take a second or two to do that. So the image background is gone, and I should be able to drag my image and also just enlarge it proportionally like that. Then the next thing I'll do is to add the basic 3D shapes that we have here. So I'm going to select the torus. So when the torus is active, you can see that the properties panel shows up on the left. We can just hold the corner and drag to enlarge. We can rotate. We can change the colors. Currently we are on the solid, so let's go with the linear and just change this to green. So that is a greenish like color. Then you notice that the shape is a bit shiny because of the metalness, or the material is metallic. So I'm going to remove the metalness to 0 and increase the roughness like that. So the shining part is gone. I'll add another purple palette of color. And if you look at our template, then it's almost the same. So for the green, let me make it a bit bright. Then I'll also just select it again and do some rotation along different axes. So let me do the Y. I think I need to get more colors from here. So I used like 4 colors. So if I increase the purple again by adding another version of purple here, you'll see that it starts making a lot of sense. And I just rotate these images, the shape, and move it to the bottom. And I think this purple is a bit dark. I'll make it lighter like that. Then I can just Control D to duplicate this shape. And rotate this. Then I can also add another 3D solid. So just scale it, use the radial version of it, add the green. And I'll also just update the metalness, take it to 0, and the roughness, take it to 100%. Then add more versions of purple. Of course, you can use as many colors as possible. It doesn't need to be necessarily purple. So let me reduce the opacity and do some rotation and just reduce or scale them down so that they look more beautiful like that. These ones were very large, but it's okay. So I believe you've got the picture of how the software works and what you can do within the grid of .com. I know there are many more powerful softwares out there, but I believe grid of is shining at this section or kinds of designs. So thank you for taking your time to watch the video. See you in the next one.